Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Katie Kramer with Tomorrow's Technology Today. Today, we're actually going to be talking about more than five things Outlook can do to save you time and money. We have a lot of tips and tricks that we want to pass along to you guys. First things first, though, we do want to talk about our housekeeping items. So please use the team's conversation if you have any questions or comments during the presentation, and I am happy to dig in a little further. And microphones will be muted during the presentation, and this presentation is being recorded and will be available after the broadcast on our website at tomtechtoday.com/webinars. So the first thing that we want to talk about is all the different Outlook products. So to get us started, there's Outlook 2019, and that is the desktop client. The next one is Outlook, Outlook in Microsoft 365, and that's the cloud version. And if you've been watching, Microsoft recently bundled together their Windows 10, Office 365, and then a few of their other common utilities, and now they call that suite Microsoft 365, so that's just their subscription-based service. And then there's the Outlook web app, and you can use a browser to go to outlook.office.com. And that was back in the 90s, that was known as hotmail.com. So if that looks familiar over the years, that's why. It is the same platform, but just a better user experience. And then there's also the Outlook mobile client. So you can install that from your App Store and use it from your tablet or smartphone. So I've taken quite a few classes about being efficient with my work. And it seems like every time we get to the point of talking about managing the chaos that gets into our email, there's always those recommendations about checking email once or twice per day and trying to keep your inbox clean. So the important thing is to know how to set that up. So let's just talk about that just for a little bit. So the first thing is create views. So you can do this by company that it comes from, by sender, by date. There are all kinds of different ways that you can look at the mail coming into your inbox. So just go to the views tab and you are able to customize your views. You can also create folders, so you can create different rules that send certain like key words directly into certain folders, or certain senders, it's going to go directly into those folders so that you can just make sure that you really keep tabs, especially like on some of your most high profile clients. And then tags, and those are things such as importance, confidentiality, follow up. Those are just kind of different ways that you can sort your email. Automation. So I love these. I love using the quick steps, and I love using the customized rules. So we'll talk about those in depth just a little bit more in a little bit. So the first thing that we want to talk about is the labels. So when the way we have ours set up is that when we do a new email, we have the option to set the sensitivity. So typically it's just general, but if it's something higher than that, we are able to this just displays right on our messages. So we can click the little pencil and make that change. We also have the option for it to be internal confidential or external confidential. So kind of just a nice way to um, know if we're allowed to share the information or not. And then the other label is the external email. So that's something that we have that comes in on all of our emails coming in from the outside world. So add-ins. So Microsoft does such a great job at having all these different applications out there that we can use to hopefully make our work life a little bit better. And they've built in the option to get add-ins, and this gives you access to thousands of different add-ins, and it can be anything from using a planner, setting reminders, using a translator, things like that, that you can just search for add-ins and it'll populate like per category the add-ins that are available. And these are not just Microsoft add-ins, these are from third party as well. So super useful to have, and you can, like I said, you can customize everything. So it's really nice to have. One of our favorites is the Find Time Action add-in, and this integrates with Microsoft To Do, which is also known as Tasks. So down at the bottom left-hand corner of your screen for your Outlook, you'll see the task option, and anytime that you update, whether you're using the To-Do app or you update from your Outlook tasks, it's going to keep the same list so you know what you're actively working on. The follow-up option. So this is something that if you right click on an email message and go to follow up, you are able to set a reminder for when you need to follow up. So say someone tells you that they owe you something in 2 weeks, you're able to assign a date to that, and then you can set the action to whatever it needs to be. So whether you need to follow up, reply to the person, just review something, forward it to somebody, whatever it might be, you can do that within that custom window. And then once it's flagged for follow-up, then you'll have the little flag next to it and a little bell to remind you that there's a follow-up already assigned to it. Categories. So this is really nice. Like if you have like different clients that you want to keep track of, for mine, I just set it up so I can sort my work either by project management or by training. And so in this example, I just use training. So it's going to give it that little yellowish orange category or color for the training. And this is just real easy to use. Again, all you have to do is just highlight the message, right click on it, go to categorize, and boom, all my options are available. And again, if I need to add more, I just go to all categories and I'm able to add whatever options I need to. Setting your out of office. So hopefully with everything that's been going on, this will be something that we're all able to do pretty soon, is just get away from all the chaos that's going on and just relax on the beach and whatever. But I if we're getting away from our email, it's good to have that out of office message on there. So to do this, you just go to File and Automatic Replies, and that's going to bring up the little window that you see on the screen. So you can set the time range for when you want the automatic replies to go out, and you are able to set it either to, if you need it to go inside your organization, or to people outside of your organization. If you want to have two different messages, you can do it that way. I would definitely include that when people can expect a reply from you, and then also if there's another contact person during your absence, so that hopefully they can handle it while you're gone and you don't have this huge pile of work to come back to. Outlook mobile app. So again, go out to the App Store, use your Microsoft account to sign in, and then this syncs with your client and your web app. So really easy to do. It gives you the focused inbox and the other. So Microsoft is so smart, and it thinks it knows what we need to focus on, so it puts that in your focused inbox. And then other is typically like social media stuff and advertisements, things like that, that it's able to catch and just put it in the other so you can focus on what you actually need to look at. So, and then you're also able to swipe and you can delete or archive from there. So super easy to use. And then you also have the option to be able to look at your calendar as well. So I just wanted to share a few frequently used keyboard shortcuts. And there's like 5 pages of keyboard shortcuts that you can use for Outlook products. So these are the frequently used, and then we also have them for mail, calendar, and people. So if that's anything that you're interested in, please just reach out and I will gladly send all those to you. Quick steps. So by default, Outlook comes with 6 quick steps that are pre-programmed. And basically what quick steps are, they are kind of like macros that you use for Excel, but it's not nearly as cumbersome to set up. But it does apply multiple actions at the same time to your email messages. So how to create your own quick step, you can just go to the home page, and right in the center of the ribbon you'll see the quick steps box, and then you're able to just drop that down and you can customize. One of my favorites is the reply and delete, and that comes pre-programmed into your Outlook. So let's say that Leah sends me an email and I want to reply to her and then have it delete once I'm done. So I'm going to highlight her email message and I'm going to click on the reply and delete button, and that's going to bring up the little pop-up box so I can write an email back to her. And then once I send that email back, it's going to delete it from my inbox. So super convenient to use and helps keep your email organized. Add calendars. So this is something that we use from OWA, and this is adding a personal calendar. And Microsoft already has it set up that you can do school calendars, holidays, Team Snap. That's something, if you have kids in sports, this is something that we see quite a bit, that everyone uses their own app, it seems like. So you're able, if there's a calendar view, you can add it in through here, sports and TV. So in this example, I just used the holiday calendar. So now in my Outlook calendar, I have the United States holidays available. And as you can see, we have Memorial Day coming up on Monday. So just kind of a nice way to keep track. Drag and drop email to schedule an appointment. So this is a really nice feature that basically kind of sets you a reminder of some emails that come in. So in this example, I received an email about quick help activity, and this is something that I like to go out and let's say that I want to look for Microsoft Teams quick help tutorials. So I'm going to drag the email to my calendar icon and then set my appointment times, because it just brings up that little appointment window. And then I can just hit save. So it's kind of like I scheduled that time for myself that I can really address whatever was in that email. At mentions. So with all the social media that's going on, Outlook didn't want to be left out, so they built in the option to do at mentions. So this is a pretty handy tool that, let's say that I want to tag Leah in a message. So I'm just going to say hi and then type the at button and put Leah in there, and then that's also going to send the message to her. So very nice to use, especially if I need to ask her something specific and maybe there are a lot of people copied on that email message. And then on the flip side, Leah's going to receive an email letting her know she's been tagged in an email, and that way she knows there's most likely some kind of action that goes along with it that's assigned to her, and she's able to sort by the at mentions in her inbox. Search folders. So it kind of works the same way as an always on filter. So this is available under, there's your inbox, and then there's all those other different folders that you've set up. And then down at the bottom of that list, there's a search folder. So if you right click on that, it'll bring up that little new search folder box. And they already have all the default settings in there, or you're also able to customize if you want to. So I just set it up to do all of my emails with attachments. And I will say, I know Microsoft gives a lot of space, but I just from a data retention standpoint, please do not use Microsoft Outlook as your like your storage, your document storage solution. Use things such as SharePoint, OneDrive, those kinds of things if you need to save documents. But anyway, so I set mine up with attachments. So now if I click on that folder, it's going to have all the emails that are in there that have an attachment with it. Mailbox Cleanup. So kind of another way to keep yourself organized. So you can do this either way. You can either go to the folder tab on the client and do cleanup folder. And when you do that, it's going to give you a message saying all redundant messages in the current folder will be moved to the deleted items folder. And then you have the option to clean up folder. You can also do it from OWA as well. Either way, it will verify that you actually want to move things to your deleted items before it actually does it. Quick access toolbar. So this is something that's available across all Microsoft products. So in this example, this is the blue bar all the way at the top of the screen. And by default, it's got the send receive and the undo buttons. So if you click the little arrow, you're able to customize the buttons that are up there. So you can put in whatever you want, and if you want to take off the send and receive all folders and the undo, you can do that. That's where you go to do all this stuff. Desktop notifications. So this is wonderful because I feel like all day long you get all these different emails coming in. Here you're able to go to your home tab and go to rules, and you can tell it which emails and how you want to be alerted. So if you want to mark a message for, let's say, your boss or one of your clients so that you always get notified when they send you a message. This is where you would go to do that. And then you can tell it if you want a sound, if you just want the desktop notification, however you want to do it. Insert calendar to email. So let's say that you're having a conversation back and forth with someone and they want to know what your availability is, but you don't want to share your calendar with them. This is a way that where you can't share your calendar with them if they're outside of your organization. This is just a way that they can see your calendar, your availability that you have scheduled. So if you just go to new email, insert calendar, that's going to give them the view of your calendar. So you kind of have it set. Here's what's going on for the day. So let's say I was free yesterday before 8 o'clock, busy between 8 and 8:30, free from 8:30 to 1, it looks like. So kind of just a nice way to be able to let someone know what your availability is. Sharing calendars. So this is the view from OWA, but you're also able to do this from the desktop client. So in OWA, you're going to click the ellipsis icon next to the calendars, and that's just the three little dots that you're going to click on, and it's going to give you the option for sharing and permissions. So if you type in an email address or a contact name of someone within your organization, you are able to share whatever permissions that you want so that they can view your calendar, or if you want them to be able to make edits, you can do that as well. And then it's real easy too, if you do it this way, that you can also take those permissions back if you ever need to stop sharing your calendar with someone. Quick parts. So this is intended to be part of a message so you don't have to keep typing it 100 times. But if you have something like, let's say that you have a paragraph or even a page of text that you need to share with multiple clients and you just need to edit like a couple words or just a part of it or attach something, this is where you would go to save that part of the email. And then that way, all you have to do is just go to insert quick parts and you can grab that quick part and that'll insert whatever content that you need. So that makes it really easy and really fast to crank out those potentially long emails too. Smart Lookup. So this is something that we talked about a few weeks ago with our Word, Excel, and PowerPoint presentation. So basically, if I just put my mouse within the word so that the cursor's in there somewhere, it doesn't necessarily have to be highlighted. And then I just right click on it and go to Smart Lookup. Here I'm able to see the wiki for it, and then I can also see the web search. So I can see kind of the definition of certain words, and this works for new emails as well as emails that you have received or anything within your folders. Email templates. So again, this kind of goes along the same lines as the parts that you can save an email template. So just go to File, Save As, Outlook Template, and that's going to save, let's say, like a draft of whatever email. So if you have like a monthly status report that you need to send out and you keep like the same kind of content in it all the time, all you have to do is open up a new email, go to View Templates, and you're going to see all of your templates in there. So you can quickly select whichever one you need, rather than trying to copy and paste or find last month's emails or last week's emails or whatever the case might be. Save emails as files. So this comes in really handy if you have something that you need to reference. You can save the email to, let's say, your documents within File Explorer. So all you have to do is do a File, Save As, and you can save your message that way. So your contacts with a professional email signature. So this is something that we have set up, and I think it looks really nice to have our logo in there, our pictures. It's got names, kind of what we do, name of the company, and then we've also included a link for Microsoft bookings. So you are able to book a 30-minute training session with me just from going to the link within my email signature. Then we also have phone, email, our office address, and then our website and social media. So You can do different signatures depending how you want to sign the email, and you can change which signature is applied when you're either sending a new email or if you're replying to an email. Delay delivery. So this is something that if let's say that I am going to be out of the office next Tuesday, but this message also needs to go out next Tuesday, I am able to write up my message and then schedule for when I want the delivery to happen. And you can go in here, you can set all the properties for it, and that message will be scheduled just like I was in the office and was able to send it out on Tuesday. So the secret to sending large files. So we talked a little bit about some of the sharing aspects already, but basically, if you want to share a large file, my recommendation is to save it to your OneDrive or SharePoint. Use the ellipsis icon and click on share, and that's going to just send a link. That's a lot easier than trying to do version control and having multiple copies of the same thing out flying around in everyone's email. But basically, all you have to do is go into the SharePoint site, click the ellipsis icon, click on share, and once it generates that link, you're able to just plop it into a new email within Outlook and you can send it that way. Meetings. So you are able to schedule meetings within Outlook. So you just have to type in the title, put some people who are required, start time, end time, location. So if you have conference rooms that are set up as resources, this would be where you would put the conference room. And then over on the right hand side for the room finder, if you have a certain date and time that you need to have your meeting or vice versa, that you know when you want to have it, it'll tell you which rooms are going to be available. So super convenient tool to have if you have multiple locations. Otherwise, if you want to use like Microsoft Teams, you can just go up to the Teams add-in button up at the top and that'll populate all the Teams information for you. Scheduling assistant. So again, if you want to do a resource, this is a great way to see if the resource is available. If you know the room, it works the same as adding an attendee. So as you can see here, I put Leah in here just as an example so you could see it'll block out her calendar, which she shared her calendar with me so I can see what's in there. Otherwise, it would just show that it was busy. Kind of a nice feature to have so that you know when people are available for your meeting. Tracking. So if you're doing a Teams meeting, you can also schedule meetings from within Teams. If you do it from Outlook, you're going to be able to use the tracking feature. So this is really nice. This is just a meeting that Lisa had set up. This is our Monday morning meeting. And if I want to see who's all able to attend, I can just go into this tracking option and I'm able to see whether they accepted it or if they declined it. So let's say I need to talk to Michael on Monday. I know that he accepted it and most likely he's going to be there. So I'll be able to catch up with him then. OneNote. So there's also a button when you go to your meeting invitation and there's a meeting notes button. That's going to generate this link for view meeting notes. Kind of a nice way to keep everyone on the same page. If you have a big project team that you're working with, they're all able to access those meeting notes from within the meeting invitation. And then again, if you want to join Microsoft Teams meeting, if you have the license to do the phone number if anybody needs to call in and then put in the conference ID number, all that information is within there. So there are 3 Microsoft products working together. There's Outlook, OneNote, and Microsoft Teams all working together there. All right, well, thank you so much. If anybody has any questions or comments, please give us a call at the office at 419-678-4600, or please feel free to email me at kkramer@ttechT.com. Our next webinar is June 3rd at 1 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about Microsoft 365. Thank you so much and have a great day.